I feel like I fit in. I feel like I can fall down in any one of these aisles right here and be left alone until I awoke.
This crowd will take care of you should anything arise, I think. Mitch, you go a ways back with Mr. Bill Murray, I know. Let's give it up. By the way, every Christmas time, a lot of people watch It's a Wonderful Life. I watch Scrooged. Mitch is the co-writer of that amazing film that Bill starred in. That was your first collaboration, correct?
Yes, that was the first thing Bill and I ever did. We wrote together professionally, but we'd met years before up at Saturday Night Live. I was up there with friends and met Bill. He was introduced to me by John Belushi as the new kid, Bill Murray. So it goes back a ways. And but yes, Scrooged was the first thing. But his actual best work was he sang every verse of Brandy, You're a Fine Girl at my wedding, which lasted. I mean, there's still people at the wedding waiting for Dan, I think. But we
Some that don't want it to end. Come on, Looking Glass, everybody.
It was great. But yeah, and this came from this movie, Rock the Kasbah, came from a misspent lifetime of being around rock and roll promoters, and kind of a chance to actually tell the story of a flailing, broken down rock promoter. And I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a moment early on in SNL where Bill played a character called Jerry Aldini, which was kind of a sleazy rock guy who always was on the backstage list and stuff. And this character is Aldini 3 or 4 decades later, and it hasn't gone well, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a long time in the making, and to Bill's credit, he jumped in immediately, and we had a blast doing it. It was great.
Bill, have you known managers in your time that have inspired this character, this portrayal?
Yeah, I mean, if you've ever tried to get in the side door of any venue, you've met a guy like this character a little bit. There's a wonderful guy named Ron Delster that's just a pathological liar, who's a wonderful guy who represents Van Morrison. He brings Van Morrison to the USA. And my job is to go cheer Van Morrison up before he goes on stage, because he's a moody Irishman. He's from the north, you know. He's moody. He just is. And it's a long ride. He flies him over to St. Patrick's Day at the Irving Place every year in New York City. My job is to cheer up Van, you know.
Which you do.
Which I do, but it's kind of hilarious. He looks like he's a hockey goalie, you know, and he's a growler. And he plays 45 minutes and no seconds. That's his act. It's like 45 minutes, no seconds. There's actually a time clock on the stage. But he's great. He's the greatest songwriter, Van Morrison, and it's kind of fun. It's a challenge to go and cheer up like a kind of a sour guy that's been on in business class all the way across the ocean.
Gotta give also props. I got a chance to see this film. It's a great piece of work, and it's an amazing ensemble that is alongside you, Bill. In this one, we've got Zooey Deschanel, Hudson, Willis. How does a cast like that come together? I mean, is that something, Bill, where you're calling folks up, or you, Mitch?
No, it really is. It comes down to Bill. I mean, Barry Levinson is a wonderful director. Rain Man and The Natural and Diner, amazing director, and did a beautiful job. But I mean, if we thought about it, my producing partner here, Steve Bing, is here, is that once Bill is doing it, people kind of gravitate to the idea of the movie, and Danny McBride and Scott Caan, and there's a generation, particularly of young comic actors who, came over for basically nothing to do the movie, and we had a great time together. I mean, Billy had a party bus with disco lighting in Morocco. We were driving around during Ramadan, and making friends.
There's no traffic. It's a good time. It really is.
Bill, when you're walking around like Morocco, is the reception different than, say, San Diego or New York or LA?
You get a lot more salam alaikum. There's less public drinking in Morocco. The people there are really nice. I strongly, Morocco's a great place to go. People are very gentle. It's a Muslim country, but they're they're people that seem to, I like their interpretation of the book, They're gentle, lovely people. It's a beautiful place, very dramatic, a lot of history. Cool places to stay, great beach towns. There's off-road stuff if you want to do that. You know.
Do you have a default technique? Okay, so when you're working with people you haven't worked with before, I would think there is, whether you know it or not, and I think you do, there is a mystique, an aura, a legend of Mr. Bill Murray that I would think would intimidate some actors. Do you go out, like, what's your technique? Do you like to put them in their place and make them feel intimidated, or do you try to disarm them?
Well, I go to work with a knife strapped to my leg. And it just means people are going to know their lines. They're going to be ready to go. You know, don't mess with me, don't, Francis, you know. Just show up. We try to be as relaxed as possible. It's really the key for the way I like to work, is to be really, really as relaxed as you can be. And that makes people feel comfortable. And I grew up in a I came from Chicago, and in the Second City Theater, where, you know, we were taught by a great director named Doug Close to, you know, you don't have to get tense when you're working. You just try to think about making the other person look good, and then you don't have to worry about yourself.
Right.
And that's the way I've learned to work. And when people see, holy cow, he's not going to try and hammer me or upstage me or anything, he wants to make me look good, then everybody relaxes. And we had a lot of fun. We had good people. I mean, Dan McBride is just an insanely crazy, talented guy. He's really wonderful. And the girl, Zooey Deschanel, was really, really, really good. And Kate Hudson was awesome. She was spectacular. And Bruce Willis, in the role of a lifetime, we own him now. He had so much fun, we own him.
Yeah, he seems to be in an altered state in this film. That's kind of frightening.
Yeah, I don't think...
And in life.
He had a really good time, and you know, it was fun working with him. I got to work with him on Wes Anderson's movie, The Moonrise Kingdom. And we had a good time together. It turns out we have an ancient history that I wasn't aware of, that he was aware of, so we get on great.
Wait, what's the ancient history?
Well, when I was on Saturday Night Live, Bruce was a page, which means it's sort of like it's a job you take where you're kind of a slave. It's like an intern slave. And his job was actually to refill the M&M and peanut bowls in the actors' dressing rooms. And years later, after a few tequilas, he said, "Only you and Gilda were nice to me." He really So, but he's all right. Okay, we had a fun time. Like I say, Morocco, I'm just saying, it's reasonable, it's thrifty. You know, it's not exactly like sleeping underneath Petco Park, but it's pretty good.
Is that where you're staying tonight? You're staying underneath Petco?
You gotta move on. You can't stay in the same place every night, you know what I'm saying? Right? You can't sleep in the same place every night.
About this collaboration, we think a lot of directors, a lot of writers write parts specifically for you, and that can be great, and that can also be terrible. Do you find that to be the case when you read things that are intended for you, that people are just going into things you've already played, or what's the trap that people
I have read scripts that people insist, I've written this script exactly for you. And I read the script and I realize, yeah, these are all my lines from other movies. It's pretty naked. But when you're thinking sort of, when you lose yourself in writing for an actor, I mean, you can sort of visualize what it is, but you want to write the story that's inside you. You want to write your story, you know, whether or not, you know, Judi Dench plays the part or Pierce Brosnan. It shouldn't make any difference. You know, you just write the part you want to write. And Mitch is, you know, we've written a lot of things together, and well, he writes them and I rewrite them as well.
Yeah.
do the punctuation?
Yeah, but he's not in the guild.
I'm in the guild, but I don't take the credit. That's another good tip for you young people. Don't bother to take the credit. You get away with a lot more if you don't want to write in credit. You really do. But, you know, this rock and roll world, we've all, you know, being on Saturday Night Live and being friends with Paul Schaefer and all those people who see beneath the rock with rock and roll, they see just all the crazy stories. I mean, you see a lot, you witness a lot. And if you've been backstage, you see bizarre behavior.
And I see these guys, his character, as almost like one of those RAF fighter pilots after their day is over. I mean, you know, the music has changed so much, and you know, record business has kind of collapsed in a lot of ways. And for a guy like Richie Lance to you know, have to, I mean, he ends up taking his secretary and last act to Afghanistan. not like the ideal gig really that you're looking for. So I mean, just the heroism of this guy, you know, staying the course and constantly through the course of the movie saying, I'm going to close this deal, you know, with armed rebels on horseback, was fun to write about. And Bill and I just did a movie with Sofia Coppola, the Christmas thing that she directed, where he actually does get a writing credit, much to my horror. And so, you know, we have written together, so
It turns out you get paid in perpetuity. It's crazy. You get paid for
it's never going to stop.
It's only about $70, but it's nice.
Yeah, it's the credit. But so I knew him long enough and well enough to know never say, I wrote this for you, just gave him the script, and he jumped on. But and it involves singing, which is always an easy way to get done. Just to give him some up on the water.
Do you sing every day, Bill? Do you have to practice your instrument every day?
I sing every day. Sometimes I sing really quietly, very quietly. No, I don't sing every day, but I have a friend who bothers me. He said, you should be singing. You should be singing today. She was not from America, okay? She's not. I don't like pick up people like that, you know, because they sound funny. She's from Thailand. Why aren't you singing more? So I'm going to sing more. Or else, I'm going to sing more. Would anyone like to sing anything right now? Is there something you'd like to sing? If we could all just take like 30 seconds. Everyone has a song they'd like to sing. Let's just all sing a song you'd like to sing for 30 seconds, okay? We try this? I've never done this. Let's try this for 30 seconds. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Invented a new art form, like an actual
massive.
I don't know if you heard, but it sounded really good. Really good. It sounded very, very joyous. Really good. Thank you.
This film, correct me if I'm wrong, this is partially based on a true story. I mean, Afghan Star is an actual TV show.
Yeah, when I was doing the research for it, one of the gifts of doing research is the real world is untoppable. There actually is a version of American Idol in Afghanistan, and it's been there for 8 years now, 8 seasons. And a friend of ours that actually has a TV show that does it. And in a city, in a country that's really obviously been at war for a quarter of a century, this thing was the one thing that people could unite around. So they would text in, just like American Idol, you know, their favorite singers, and it did break down into, you know, Pashtun and the various groups, but they could unite around the music of it, which really suited the theme of the movie. And we got Yusuf Islam, Cat Stevens, to give us some songs, and I mean, it ends with Peace Train, a spectacular version of it. So yes, it is based on a true story, and there was in the second or third season of Afghan Star, the first woman, Pashtun woman, to come up and sing, and she was warned not to sing or dance. You know, and there were death threats against her, but she had the courage to do it, and she didn't win, but she was an astounding talent, and broke a lot of ground. I mean, it was a really amazing story. And we dedicated the movie to her, and our character's name is Salima, is played by Leem Lubany, who was at the time a 17-year-old Palestinian girl from Nazareth, great singer and amazing actress, and she and Bill are spectacular together. So that is one of the deeper stories of the film, is the empowerment of this woman, and also, you know, the ability for the culture to change.
I'm curious, Bill, I mean, we were talking a little bit about musical taste. Like, do you connect at all to music today, or your taste sort of stuck where they were, you know, a lot of people, they're stuck when they come of age, or like when they're 20 or something?
No, I mean, I still like music that I heard when I was 20, and so it's, you know, obviously it's lived a long time, it still is great. But, you know, I like music. I don't care where it's coming from.
Jenny Lewis.
We were with our friend Jenny Lewis the last few days, and she's a great singer from California. I did go see the Grateful Dead's last show in Chicago. But I went with Jenny Lewis, and we were backstage with dubious other rock and roll characters. But there were a lot of fun people, Woody Harrelson, and but yeah, I mean, I like to span I think called Double X or XX. I think they're cool. I accidentally saw them in Nashville. I thought they were great. And this fella Chris Stapleton, the young singer guy. I just like what I like. I'm not tied down to it. I listen to Channel 15, you know. I listen to The Pulse. I listen to Chill.
And we'll be.
It's a mood swing thing. You go Pulse, I go Chill.
We'll be hearing this next collaboration. You singing some Christmas songs, presumably.
We did this goofy Christmas show, and which was kind of a great story that we wrote, and we had a bunch of unusual people in it. We had old school guys. We had Buster Poindexter, David Johansen,
Scrooged. Yeah,
from Scrooged. We had Jenny Lewis. We had Rashida Jones.
Phoenix.
We had the Phoenix, the band Phoenix. We had Paul Schaefer, Jason Schwartzman.
Miley Cyrus.
And out of nowhere comes Miley Cyrus. I gotta say, I'm gonna say this officially, Miley Cyrus is good. I was not particularly convinced. Miley Cyrus is really fucking good. She can really sing. You know, I thought she was just a knucklehead crazy girl and kind of like, you know, kind of girl you want to go on a road trip with, maybe didn't have ID or something, you know, but she can really sing, and she floored everybody. She just floored everybody. Paul Schaefer and George Clooney, all these guys, like, holy Christ, she's really good.
Yeah.
She really can sing. So I don't want to hear more bad rapping of Miley Cyrus. Okay? Leave it for, well, who should we leave it for? Raise your hand. Who should we leave it for? But not Miley Cyrus. She's hard. She's a pro.
We're going to let the audience ask a few questions in a second, but indulge me.
Yeah, we'll leave it for Rick Ross. Rick Ross is the guy we wanted.
Since it is Comic-Con, indulge me, I have one Comic-Con-y question. There's a lot of lore about your career. One is that you were up for Han Solo way back when. Well, I don't know if you've heard, Bill, they are recasting Han Solo in a prequel. So I guess what I'm saying is, was it true? Were you ever up for Han Solo? And B, are you still up for taking on the role today?
Oh, God, it's a big moment for me.
I know.
I don't know that I was ever up for Han Solo. I couldn't tell you for sure, but I am working out now in the hopes of getting this new thing. You know, just a lot of sweating and Pilates. I'm really going to work hard at it.
I would expect there are a few questions from this audience. Are we ready for a question or two?
I got a spotlight too. Cool. Let's get it. Holy Jesus, it's Superman! I can see you. Just shout.
Oh, okay, here we go. Hey, Bill, I know you like to sing like we saw today, and I know Zooey likes to sing. In Rock the Kasbah, do you guys do like your own little song together, or something freestyle in the movie?
No.
Well, I sing in the shower. I sing "Can't Find My Way Home" by those guys, and Zoe sings "I'm a Bitch, I'm a Woman." You know that song? She does a great job. She really kills it. She can really sing. Actually, we had a rap party on a galleon, a ship, literally like an old-fashioned three-masted ship that they turned into a bar somewhere in Morocco. And they had a, what do you call it? You know, it's a karaoke night, right?
Karaoke night?
So she chooses to sing "We Are the World" as her karaoke song. Do you know how hard it is to sing that song? Try it sometime. It's up there to sing, and she's got to imitate like 14 of the greatest. She's got to sing the pitches and the keys and notes of like 14 of the greatest singers in America. It's a staggering piece of work. So if she died tomorrow, I'd say her karaoke work will live forever. But you have another question, because you walked a long way.
I just say thank you for being here. We're so happy.
Oh my God, it's another one of my cousins.
And, oh, there's the mic. Hi, guys. I have a question involving Richie Lanz's managerial standards, Mr. Murray. Would he consider ever taking on, like, say, a classical act, or like a juggler, or possibly a unicorn?
A unicorn.
I mean, it's all contractual. But everyone's looking for a unicorn. We all are. Everyone in the management business is looking for a unicorn. Have you got something you'd like to sing at this instant?
It's a small world.
You're next.
There is a way to do it.
Hello, Bill Murray. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic, especially here with you. I'm going to be camping out again tonight, so you're welcome to sleep with me outside Hall H. Mitch, my question's for you.
I'm still having that picture in my head. Sorry, go ahead.
But I was wondering if trying to get him to say the lines that you actually wrote was hard, or if he just goes on and on in his own
Here's the
way.
thing. There's a myth about that. He's very good with the script. He does. I was saying to my writing partner on Scrooged was going mental because every time Bill would change anything, I'd say it gets better. But so we should be thrilled with that. And he is wonderful at it. But at this point, I do understand. I do know his voice after writing for him with him for all these years. So it's pretty close to what it is. But it gets better, on the day. And Barry Levinson had the occasional idea and all that. But no, he's very respectful of writers and SNL comes out. That's how it is. He doesn't change a word. That's what I'm trying to say. Not one.
We love that kind of collaboration.
It's amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. How many people is she asking to sleep with her? That's what I want to know. I mean, does everyone give her a button when they leave? I want to feel a little bit special.
Hi. So, my name is Jonah. I just want to say first that your comedy's really got me through a lot of good stuff. And what I was wondering was, with a film like this, what was maybe the best or funniest part of filming it? Like, maybe a favorite memory?
Well, it's really, when you go to a place that's so foreign, you're on another continent. You're on another continent. You're in another culture, a combination culture. A country that's been invaded by the French and the Spanish, the Berbers, they live there. They've had their own wars. You feel the wind get pulled from the ocean by the Sahara. The Sahara pulls the moist air to the desert. It's an extraordinary sensation to be there. So I think one thing that was really amazing, there was a night in Marrakesh, and I call it Marrakesh because I'm too hip to say Marrakesh. There was a night in Marrakesh where we were at a restaurant, which you wouldn't even notice. It looks like it's sort of an industrial stucco building downtown, but you open the doors and it's this magical tile, fern, water, light building that's been there for centuries. And you're inside of this thing and you march up through the entire building to the roof. And on the roof you know, they've made the accommodation where they serve vodka, you know, and tequila.
No,
And you're on the roof, and there's a two-man band, just a man with a four-string instrument and a drum, and they're playing something you've never heard in your life. You're on top of this. You're on top of the city, overlooking the market, and the stars are above you. And there's this rhythm that's thousands of years old, and you think, you know, I'm in the actors union. You know, I'm just a guy from Illinois, and I'm here being able to touch and listen to something that's affected people for many centuries. And you just get reminded you have a responsibility to take what we're given and pass it on, transform yourself somehow, and pass it on.
All right.
Hi, Mr. Miller. I was just curious, what has been your favorite role to play ever?
Well, once upon a time, I did save the city of New York. Damn car to drive around Manhattan.
Thank you.
Hi Bill, I'm James from Nerd Central, and this movie looks awesome. I want to know, has it got a rocking soundtrack with some karaoke options?
It has, it has some kind of a classic rock soundtrack because it's, you know, he's an old-time promoter, but, you know, our friend Steve Big, who's one of our producers, managed to call in favors from some of the greatest, you know, Bob Dylan, you know, Leon Russell, the great names, Eric Clapton, Steve Winwood. There's some, you know, Steve Stills, Neil Young. He's jokingly saying Kid Rock over here. Kid Rock. But it's a fantastic soundtrack, and there's great music through it. It's a powerful movie. I don't know. Have any of you? Has anyone seen the movie yet?
No, it's not.
It's not out yet. Okay. Well, I've seen it, and it's really good. I would not be appearing in public if I didn't think it were really good. It's really good.
And music is part of. I mean, his character is a rock manager. The girl that he discovers sings only Cat Stevens songs because she's Muslim, and so you have a, you know, so music it's not just the soundtrack; it's actually part of the film. But there's going to be a great soundtrack for it.
Well, she said
I promise.
Hi, Bill. I know you're probably sick of hearing this, but Assalamu alaikum. I wanted to know if you felt that as a legendary actor, if you had a responsibility to educate the masses through entertainment roles like this.
Well, that's a fine question. I think you could take it that way, but it's sort of like I was saying to the other gentleman, not your gentleman, but the gentleman. You don't have an obligation to educate through your work. I think when people try to do that, I mean, you do it if you do it correctly. But I think if you set out with that intention, I'm going to educate people with my work, you're sort of aiming at the curve. You're not exactly aiming at the stars. You know? I think if you educate people with your work, you're aiming even higher. You're not even offering to educate people about, say, the issue of women in Afghanistan or freedom somewhere. You're talking about trying to live by principles that we only aspire to, you know, that we mostly don't achieve, that we mostly don't attain. And you don't take yourself so seriously, but you try your hardest to comport yourself, it's a word you don't get to use, but comport yourself to be alive, now. To be alive now. So if we can all be alive now, really just be here inside of our skin now, not next to us, not in the aisle in front of us or down the road. If we can be in our skin right now, then as a group we're all elevating somehow. Yes, we're all going up. We're all rising. And all you can do if you can try to be that way on the screen, on the film, and it's sort of ideal in a way because most of us only have a short attention span anyway. There's certainly if you can be that way for as long as you are on the screen, sometimes the take only lasts a minute and a half or something. I can hold it together for a minute and a half. I can be calm and relaxed and alive that long, and that gives you hope to do it again. It's a lot of work, but it gives you hope to do it again, and you can see that even though there's not an intention to do a certain thing, that happens on the way to trying to make the other thing occur. Does that make sense?
The personal becomes universal, so the story, it's not lecturing, it's a great ride, but the story of this woman or whatever, or this guy, becomes universal, in the telling of it. So it's not like a lecture or anything. I think it's part of the episode. And I hope so.
Well, hope is a very big part of it. Thank you. That's a wonderful question. Thank you.
My knees are shaking a little, I'm sorry.
Your knees?
Yeah.
All right, well, see if you can make it move up to your hips. You can get your hips moving, then your arms are going to go above your head, and it's all going to happen.
So my question is about Bruce Willis. Is he a jackass on set? Does he have a soft heart that you really need to dig into, or is he a nice foil to you? What is he like?
Well, he's a movie star. He's a movie star, and you hear stories about people, and I don't know if I've heard really a whole hell of a lot of stories about him, but you hear stories about people that he's tripping on people, whatever. Well, when you're the movie star, and a real movie star, he is one, you have to sometimes take matters into your own hands. You really do. In the name of entertainment, for one, in the name of, and really in the name, more often than you'd think, in the name of just respecting the crew, because there are people that try to sort of take over a situation and dominate people. I don't want to say producer slime specifically. I don't want to say a certain kind of person, but there are people that want to take advantage of a group situation and dominate. There's a personality flaw. And a movie star can step into the middle and say, no, that ain't going to happen, boss. That's not going to happen. And they'll get a little loud, and they'll get in someone's face. And that story gets repeated because that person got loud, that person got in someone's face. But the movie star, they're a noble race, they really are. You have to sort of, and they're an endangered species, that's right. Sometimes they get really loud and ugly and cantankerous in the name of protecting like an integrity to the job. And it's not just the script or the hours that you have to work, or but how the crew is treated, the food that they're served. I mean, it's a whole lot of things. My experience with Bruce has been on 2 films. Moonrise Kingdom wasn't too shabby, that movie, and this one, Rock the Kasbah. And he and I shared. I mean, we had. You know what a 2-banger is in terms of a trailer? A 2-banger is, it's not even a studio apartment. It's like half as much room to Josh's side. That's for he and his crowd, and this is for, he wasn't tripping at all. He had a dinky little trailer in a dusty little place where there's no air conditioning, and the smoke blew in your face, and the sand blew in your eyes, and it was 116 degrees one day, black. And he was dressed in black, which is slimming, but hot.
Thank you so much, Bill Murray, and for teaching me a new dance move.
You gotta find that chick with the buttons, my friend.
You're live to Sao Paulo, Brazil. And so, actually the social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, evolved to live posting and live all the things. So what do you think about empowering minorities? And so what do you do to make things better?
Who's that question for? Well, if you're asking me, am I in favor of empowering minorities? Absolutely. I think, you know, the world is changing. It's very slow. It's very slow, and it doesn't change the way we want it. You know, there is a justice in the world. It just doesn't come when we want it. It comes slowly. It's planetary. It's, you know, it's universal. It comes, but it comes very slowly. And you know, you can hit a table and say this is wrong. That doesn't mean it's going to change overnight. Like there's a flag flying from a building in South Carolina that people are really upset about. You know, and it's going to change. It's changed. It's going to change, but it doesn't change because someone says so. There's something that's got to change in the way it is. I mean, we were a country that was founded with a glorious Declaration of Independence at a time when we still had slavery. You know, and the deal was, okay, we'll sign it. They couldn't get the deal done. They said, okay, we'll sign it. But in 1820, we're gonna, the laws started changing and people had to start giving away their slaves. There really were, I mean, if you really look into the history of it, they made a deal like, okay, we're gonna end slavery, but we can't get it done today, okay? They made like a 50-year plan to get it done. You know, it's insane, but that was the way, you know, you had to make some sort of compromise with people that wouldn't bend back then. It was wrong. It still is wrong, you know, but, you know, you can only make it happen so fast. So how do you make it change? You know, it really starts with yourself. You know, we are slaves ourselves. We're slaves to our own weakness. We're slaves to our bodies, and we're slaves to our emotions. If you can free your own self, that's a huge help. That's really all you can. That's really the best thing you can do. And that state that you enter then, that you attain, affects everyone around you.
I'll take that one for Bill. There's a part where, spoiler alert, there's an explosion, and Bill's character, it seems like he's been affected by the explosion, but he's deafened by it, and as written, it wasn't quite as funny as it ended up on the screen because he just starts stomping around the desert, and Bruce Willis is saying, you know, come back here, and for me, there's like a 30-second moment in the movie that's pure physical comedy. The best of what he does. You'll see when you see the movie. It's just, you'll be laughing, I promise. You personally. It's really funny.
We have time for a couple more, a home stretch. Here we go.
Hey, Bill Murray. I don't know if you've ever heard, but there's people that share around these stories of you doing crazy things and acting weird and then turning to the person that's telling the story and saying, no one will ever believe you. I was curious if any of those stories have any validity to them, and if not, like if you have heard them, is there one that really is like you've heard, like, wow, that's pretty crazy?
What he was talking about. Sounds like fun though, doesn't it?
I can attest to one. My wife is here who starred in Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. Kelly Lynch is here. And I can attest to one of those stories, which is for about, it felt like 20 or 30 years, but for about 5 or 6 years, anytime Roadhouse was on, and I mean, it was on TNT every 15 minutes, it seemed. So before in the morning, he actually once called me from Russia at a wedding to say, your wife is banging Patrick Swayze. All his brothers were calling me at weird hours to do the same voice. So I mean, I don't know about the, you'll never believe it, but Kelly and I were haunted by
Hello? Hey, Bill. I'm Josh, and this is my daughter, Annika. So, this is baby's first legend she's witnessing on stage right now, so thanks for being here. My question is, being surrounded by all these nerds, the greatest group gathering of them in the world, really, every year. What is your niche in the nerds? So is it Star Trek, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Firefly, Doctor Who? Where do you fit in amongst us?
That's a great question. It really is a good question. And I wondered about it myself. I have a taser with me. I didn't know what to expect. I honestly didn't know what my place was before I came. I didn't know. I've been nearby and seen just sort of like television kind of coverage of what's happening, but I must say it feels wonderful to be in this room. It really does. I have a lot of dress-up outfits at home that I would surprise you with. I'm not going to tell you. I'd really surprise you. But I feel like I feel comfortable in this room, and that there's what it is. I don't know if it's passion or, I like when people get excited about something. You know, there's a lot of people that just don't get excited about much at all. They only get excited about food or something, or TV or something. But the fact that you all are excited about something in particular, and really just the forms, the fantastic forms, the creative forms, that's pretty cool. It's nerdy, but it's some of the best parties I've ever been to were with really insane nerds, like crazy. Like I was at a party once at the Skywalker Ranch up there. You talk about nerds. I mean, these people, they should have their blood tested, recycled or something, transfused into other people. But the rap party, when we finished the work up there, was one of the craziest and most maniacal I've ever seen. It was really fun. Playing to a band called El Rayo X. By David Lindley's band. Anyone know this band? It's like a really stupid, and people literally bouncing upside down on their heads and standing on their heads and stuff. It really was stupid fun. I liked it a lot.
Well, Bill, we are very proud to embrace you as one of our own here at Hall H. Hall H has been kicked off in great style. Please give it up one more time.